me, Pudog3, and
today... I don't know what that was about. Hey, it's me, Pudog3, and today I have a confession to make. Many years ago, I suffered from an addiction to Toys to Life video games. What? You expecting something else? What do you think I was gonna say? Fentanyl. Now, for those of you in the audience who have no idea what Toys to Life video games are, or you like to save money as a child, I don't know what's wrong with you, but let me explain what was the Toys to Life boom of the early 2010s. You see, it all started October 13th, 2011, with the release of Skylanders Spyro's Adventure. Using the already pre-established character that was Spyro, Toys for Bob and Activision joined forces to think of a plan to steal money from children. But how would this game specifically make a boatload of money? Basically, Skylanders is a 3D platformer game similar to, I guess, Super Mario 64 or Luigi's Mansion, but they had a massive fighting game sized roster, and the roster did not have a character select screen. Instead, they wanted you to go out to your local Walmart or GameStop and pick up a little Skylander, and once you put them on your portal of power through the magic of NFC chip reading and USB ports, you could play as them in the game. Now, I know what you might be wondering. Pudog, why didn't you just buy one character and then stick with them throughout the whole game? That seems like a cheaper solution. And my rebuttal is that that solution technically does work. But unfortunately, Activision also thought of this, and now I'm gonna go over why it's crucial that you buy a bunch of those. First reason, if your Skylander runs out of health, then you either have to quit playing with that Skylander, or you have to just restart the level. And in some of those later games, some of those levels suck, I'm gonna be honest. So it's kind of a grueling process to restart the whole thing. And the second reason is if you want to 100% the game, you cannot if you just have one Skylander. Because in order to 100% any Skylanders game, you would need a specific Skylander from each subcategory of Skylanders, which was referred to as elements, because they hide other portions of the levels or mini games behind elemental gates, which can only be accessed by Skylanders of a specific element. And for the sane people in the audience, let me just go over what these elements are and how many there are. There is tech, magic, water, fire, earth, air, life, and undead. And eventually they decided, oh wow, we need 2 more elements to make us a lot more money, and they decided to do light and dark. Because this is now basically Pokemon, but instead of spending hundreds of hours grinding trying to get a shiny, you spend hundreds of your dollars trying to get a pumpkin eyebrow. But guys, of course, Skylanders is not the only Toys to Life video game. We have some other companies that decided to join in on the fun and make a lot of money. Could you guess what one of those are? Of course it's freaking Disney! And the other companies are Warner Brothers and Lego. I feel like not a lot of people talk about how money hungry those two companies are, because a lot of people enjoy Legos, but I don't know if you guys noticed, one Lego set can make you like bankrupt. And Warner Brothers, they just don't like Looney Tunes. I don't know what, that's my beef with them. What is up with Warner Brothers? Why are we canceling the Wile E. Coyote versus Acme movie? What is wrong with you? What is wrong with you? But nonetheless, I was obsessed with these borderline NFT figures. And recently I did some wondering, and I wondered to myself, how much money did I spend on these Toys to Life games? And that's what we're gonna figure out today, because if I do something stupid, I gotta post it on YouTube. So now it's time for you to join me on my journey to discover how much money I spent on Toys to Life. Okay, so the first game series I'm going to be diving into today is Skylanders. There were 6 of these games, and boy, were there a lot of figures. Now, before I begin, I realized that I have to do a lot of research to figure out how much these guys actually cost. I know a lot of research is weird for a Pudog3 video, but that's just the kind of state we're in right now. We're in the end game now. And I knew the research would be kind of grueling because these Skylanders came in a lot of different packs. Of course, if you wanted a Skylanders game, you had to first buy a starter pack. These starter packs came with 2 to 3 Skylanders, a portal of power, and the game itself. And these normal Skylander starter packs usually cost $75, which in hindsight is really weird because the Spider-Man 2 game cost me $75. What is up with this inflation, guys? What's going on? The casual starter pack would eventually evolve into the Dark Edition starter pack, starting with Skylanders Swap Force, and this would run you $100. Guys, the only real difference with the Dark Edition ones was that they were just black and silver. I thought those were cool though, so I of course bought 2 Dark Edition starter packs, and I did buy 4 of the normal starter packs for the 4 other games. Also, this one wasn't for a console game, but there was a Skylanders mobile game called Skylanders Battlegrounds, which did have a starter pack to give you a Bluetooth portal of power that you could connect to your phone. And I, of course, had to buy that too. Luckily, that was only $60, so that brings our grand total right now to a whopping $560. But my friends, this is barely scratching the surface of how many Skylanders were in these games. The next Skylander packs were the core Skylander packs, which would be a pack of 1, and it just came with 1 guy. And in Spiral's Adventure, they originally started at the low price of $7, and now the Skylander core packs cost $10. In Spiral's Adventure, I bought 8 core Skylanders, and in Giants, this is when they finally inflated to $10 for each of the core packs, and I got 17 of these, 22 in Swap Force, 8 in Trap Team, and then after this, they started having even more gimmicks that would take over the $10 price mark. Skylander Superchargers was weird because it was a racing game, and there was boats, planes, and even cars that you could race other players with, and the Skylanders and the vehicles were all $10. So out of all of them in this game, I only bought 8. Starting to learn how to save my money, I guess. However, in the next game, Skylanders Imaginators, they replaced the core Skylanders with Imagination Crystals. These allowed you to create your own Skylander in the Creation Suite, and you could play as them in the game. I only bought 3 of these crystals, so that's $30 more we're adding to the count. Now, the grand total for all the single packs, vehicles, and Imagination Crystals would round up to be $636, which added to our total price would become $1,196. And we are not done yet. Previously in this video, I talked about each of these Skylander games having a gimmick. And when they released a new gimmick for one of these games, the gimmick Skylanders would cost you around $15. The first one didn't have any gimmicks. The whole gimmick was just that you are using Skylanders as Toys to Life characters. The real gimmick started with Skylanders Giants, where you could play as the aforementioned Giants. These guys were huge, they lit up, and you could perform feats of strength that would get you some extra goodies in the games. Technically, I think you only needed 1 of the Giants to 100% the game, but I bought 8. So the next game added the Swap Force into the game, and these guys were a legendary Skylander team that could swap their tops and bottoms. And this was a thing that the action figures did in real life. This is by far the coolest Skylanders gimmick to me because you can make new Skylanders with different abilities just by swapping their tops and bottoms. I think Swap Force is probably where Skylanders peaked. And if you couldn't tell, I liked this a lot. I bought 15 of these, which, yeah, is all of them. However, Trap Team got a little greedy because they introduced 3 new types of gimmick Skylanders. The first one was the aforementioned Trap Team, also known as Trap Masters. Typically, they dealt more damage and they could catch major villains in the game in Traptanium crystals. I bought 10 of these guys. However, once you trap the major villains in the game, you could actually play as them if you had Traptanium crystals. These were Jolly Rancher looking guys, and they cost only $6. You needed 1 for each element, and I'm so happy that I stuck to that. I didn't go crazy with like having 1,000,000 Traptanium crystals because there was a lot. However, the third gimmick in the game had to be the most obnoxious because they made miniature characters of some of the most famous ones. Luckily, these came in 2 packs, and they were at the low price of $16. What the hell? I surely didn't buy that many, right? I bought 4? Superchargers, again, moved their gimmick characters down to $10, And if there was something that was $15 in this one, I didn't catch it because there was nothing that I was really interested in this game. I did not like Superchargers a whole lot. Skylanders Imaginators, however, was a completely different story because these gimmick characters were called senseis, and they were just either original characters, reformed villains from previous games, which was pretty cool, I will admit that, and Crash Bandicoot for some reason. I don't know what was happening there, but I did buy 12 of these senseis. And since this was kind of gimmicky, I think I'll talk about it here. They finally delved into loot boxes with this game, which is a disaster waiting to happen. And these loot boxes could be bought at the store for $6, and they were in little blind bags, so you wouldn't know what kind of loot box you were getting. You could get bronze, you could get silver, you could get gold. But after you open the blind bag, you scan it on your portal of power, and then you get your rewards, and after that they are completely worthless. Like, you cannot, they basically become bricked. You can't use them ever again. Like, they're just useless. They sit on your shelf and do nothing. Luckily, I only bought 2 of these because the Toys to Life fad was kind of dying at this point. But after all those gimmicks, I spent $793, which, adding to everything else Skylands related, means that I spent $1,989. This is getting out of hand, but in Skylanders, isn't even over yet. Because in each game, they had some form of level pack, either called adventure packs or battle packs. These would give you special items to use in game, new Skylanders, or a whole new level to the game, or battle arena. And these were by far the most expensive pack, with the total of $25. In Spyro's Adventure, I bought 2 of these. In Giants, 1. Swap Force, 4. Trap Team, 4. And Imaginators, I bought 2. So that's $325. And finally, the grand total of what I spent on every single Skylanders game is $2,314. Congratulations, Activision. You did it. You figured out how to rob children. Also, side note, can someone please do the same math for everything that Skylander Boy and Skylander Girl had? I know their dad had, like, ties to Activision or whatever, but I watched those guys a lot as a kid, and they honestly might be the reason why I wanted to do this collection thing in the first place, and what started my Skylanders addiction. Are you seeing these collections? Like, this is crazy. This is absolutely crazy. No, like, child could actually have that. However, the bankruptcy does not stop there. Now it's time to move on to Disney Infinity 1.0 through 3.0. And thank God, they never changed the prices on these. They kind of stayed the same things from the first game through the last game. So I can kind of just go through all the games all at one time and just go pack by pack by pack. But if you don't know me, hi, it's me, Poodog3. I really like Disney. I have a lot of Disney merchandise. I've watched all the movies, and I even point with 2 fingers. So whenever I heard that Disney was making a Toys to Life video game, it felt almost serendipitous, because I love Toys to Life video games and I love Disney. So, you know, I had to get a lot. I got so many of those guys. Especially since each game focused on a different part of Disney. The first one focused on Disney and Pixar, then the next one focused on Marvel, and then the next one focused on Star Wars. So strap in, because I'm extremely disappointed in myself. The first type of pack I'm covering, of course, is the Disney Infinity starter packs. Disney Infinity 1.0 and 2.0 both went for $75, and they basically gave you the same thing as what the Skylanders one did. They gave you a little portal, they gave you a few characters, and they gave you the game. However, for Disney Infinity 3.0, they went down to $65 for a starter pack, and that one came with the same stuff. They just decided to be a little more generous. The next type of pack I bought was the playset packs. These would give you 2 Disney Infinity characters, if you're lucky. Sometimes they give you 1, and also a new level or area to explore that's based off of whatever movie the pack is themed off of. Like, if it was the Lone Ranger for some reason, you get a Lone Ranger level. I think I bought all of these playset packs for $35, so I got 8 of them. However, there was another option to the classic playset pack, and I guess those playsets were worth $5 extra, because there was something called a toy box pack. and this would give you the same amount of characters, but also just two little like a texture pack, I guess I'm gonna call it, and I bought 3 of those for $30. And in Disney Infinity 2.0 and 3.0, there was these things called Toy Box games. I had 4 of those, and those were each $20. I really don't know how to categorize any of this stuff. I feel like when Disney made this thing, they were just kind of going crazy with the names. They'd call it the toy box, toy set, whatever, box play set, whatever. I don't know. These are confusing times. However, the one thing I do understand is that there were single packs and triple packs. Those are really easy to explain. The single packs would give you 1 figure, and the triple packs would give you 3 figures, you know, the basic math. I only got 2 of the triple packs, and those were $30 each. However, the single packs were worth $13, and I bought 50 of them. So that's $650 right there. And then, of course, they had power discs. Those come in the toy box, whatever I said before, the ones that come with the little discs. I don't really know. These are confusing names. But there were the little discs, and they came in $5 blind bags. I had 23 of those. In the later games, they came in bundles for $10. I bought 5 of those. And then last, but definitely not least, there were these things called game discs. These are very similar to the Toy Box games, except one was like a racing mode or something, because you can't have a Toys to Life game without a racing mode. And there was another one that was like a battle arena or something. I don't know. I had 2 of those, and they were each $20. So $40 down the toilet. But finally, I am done with Disney Infinity, and I can tell you the total of how much I spent on all of this hoopla toy box playset whatever. I gave the Walt Disney Corporation $1,580 just through Disney Infinity. But I don't know, I'll be honest right here. I know I did a lot of complaining about the namings of everything in Disney Infinity, but they were really fun. And honestly, if there was any of the Toys to Life games that I bought out of free will and not just so I could unlock new things in the games, it was definitely Disney Infinity. You could do a lot with Disney Infinity with just like 3 characters. The thing with Disney Infinity though is they were all pre-established characters, so you wanted like a lot of them. And that's why I spent so much money on this game. I probably didn't need to, but I did, and that's... However, on a more expensive note, now we move on to LEGO Dimensions, guys. This game was pretty fun because it was a standard LEGO game, except you got the actual LEGO figures in the game. This was really cool because Warner Brothers had finally licensed a whole bunch of characters that never had figures before. And then the incentive to get you to buy the Legos was that there would never be any of these LEGO figures literally anywhere else. They had Powerpuff Girls, Beetlejuice, Sonic the Hedgehog, which they didn't make like a real thing from years later, E.T., there was Gremlins, the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, and Slimer, which I know those exist, but like it's still crazy that they're in the game. LEGO Dimensions, of course, was really weird because they never made a sequel to LEGO Dimensions. They kind of just made like add-on expansions to LEGO Dimensions, which was cool because you never had to go out and buy like 20 starter packs. You only had to buy 1, which was $100, but it also was a Lego set because you got the little portal, and then you got Batman and Wild Style and Gandalf. Another thing about this game is that they came with little Lego builds of iconic things from the movies or TV shows that were based on, and there was only about 4 different packs that ever existed throughout the whole entire timeline of LEGO Dimensions. There were fun packs that came with 1 LEGO figure and 1 LEGO build, I guess I'm gonna call it. It's like a vehicle / item or something. And these were only $15. I feel like the fun packs were really cool to get because you could get so many of them. I bought 28, so that's $420. But if you wanted a few more characters, there were team packs, and this was 2 Lego figures and 2 Lego builds. And these only cost you $10 extra. I feel like the team packs were kind of a steal because you get 2 fun packs for the price of 1. Granted, they're going to be based off of a certain thing, so if you like Raven and Beast Boy from Teen Titans Go, then get you a team pack, brudda. But I bought 8 team packs, and that cost me a crisp $200. However, now we get into the Lego sets that were a little more worth your while, because these were level packs, and there was no fooling around this one. There weren't adventure packs, battle packs, play sets, or whatever. They were level packs, and they were just DLC for the game. But I think there was only 11 of these to ever exist, because there was no way I was skipping out on a new level in the game with my completion anxiety. I bought 11, like I said, and then that cost me $330, which means that each of these level packs were $30 each. And then instead of making a part 2 to the game, they made 3 story packs, which gave you 2 figures and a new portal base. Of course, I bought all of these, dude. That was sick. That was like 6 new levels based off of a specific movie. These were $50, so I don't know. I think this was worth it. It basically is the starter pack of the game without the game, so it's $50. So by that logic, it means the game is worth $50. I like the story packs. I thought that was a unique idea. I just wish they were different movies. Like if they did 6 levels on like Beetlejuice or something, that could be cool. However, since it's Lego, you gotta imagine it's gonna cost you a pretty penny, and that was $1,203. But I think that's it with all of the Toys to Life games, because I don't think there was any other company that had any Toys to Life. That's right. How can I forget about the one that's still going on today for some reason? Amiibos. Amiibos are still a big thing. At the time I made this list, I had 31 Amiibos. And of course, if you see these at your local Walmart, these do cost like $16. So I spent $496 on Amiibos. I feel like that's more free will though, because you can kind of just buy them to be a cool character in Smash Bros. Or just to be a cool character on your shelf. The most of the Amiibos they make are pretty cool quality and pretty like cool to look at. I use them as background stuff in my videos all the time. But now it's time there's no stepping around this. I have to tell you guys how much I spent on all these Toys to Life games. And here's the truth, the honest truth of how much money I wasted on these games and how much money I will never ever get back. The amount of money that I spent on every single Toys to Life video game, it was insane. It was around $5,593, which is insane that I did that. I mean, it was a lot of money over the span of like maybe 10 years. So I don't know. That's like, what is that? $500 a year? But I don't know. I guess the real question that I should be asking myself is, do I regret buying all of these characters? No. I think that the Toys to Life genre was a very impactful and cool thing that I did as a child, and I don't think I would ever regret it. Like, yeah, I would be $5,000+ richer, but like, who cares at the end of the day? You know, is my joy worth sacrificing? I don't think I need to get philosophical at the end of a Toys to Life video. I don't know. Let me know in the comments down below if you think I'm stupid for spending this much money as a child on all this. And also take the $5,000 price thing as with a grain of salt, because again, I was a child, so I probably got some of those guys for Christmas or something. I probably didn't spend $5,000 out of pocket. I don't remember how I got most of those Skylanders, but I do remember having them because I went through all of them and counted them like months ago. I think I've been having this list all added up since 2022, I think, man. And I've been wanting to make this video, but never knew when the right time was. But yeah, that's about it for this video, and click on a new one if you think that'd be something you're interested in, and I'll see you guys next week.